Hare Krishna,
Hare,
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Radhesham Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dhanad Pranam, Prabhu.
Very happy to see you, Prabhuji. Thank you. I think few others will be joining, Prabhuji, if you can
Yes,
give a
Prabhu. We
couple of
will
minutes.
start the kirtan and they will join us. Huh?
Yeah, so we already have around 35 participants. Now, this might also mean 70 because couples might be joining, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, so thank you, Prabhuji, for.
That's kirtan, yes,
Yes,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namo
Bhutale
Srimate
Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine.
Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namaste Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.
Hare Rama, Hare
कलियुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की श्रील
Hare.
प्रभुपाद की गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री राधा मदन मोहन की श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की श्री गौर निताई की
Jai. Jai.
So let us welcome His Grace Radhesham Prabhu with three loud. Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol, Hari
Hari
Bol,
Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
So we have been missing you a lot, Prabhuji, your physical association, of course, in Hyderabad. But we have been fortunate to hear so many seminars you're conducting, and you remembering us and trying to restart this slate is really a great blessing on us, and we are very excited. Everybody has so quickly confirmed as soon as the invite was sent that yes, it is starting again. Hopefully, we'll see you in person also soon.
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank
And
you, Prabhu.
Prabhu, Leelan
Yes,
Prabhu, in between, if I ask you a question about the volume or anything, you can be available to answer me. You can
Yes.
keep yourself unmuted. Huh?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji, yeah.
Sure.
And I am going to display the notes on the screen. And devotees already have a copy, but I will be displaying the notes on the screen. So they should be able to see it. In case you have any difficulty in accessing the notes or anything, you can right away speak to me. Huh?
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you,
Because
Prabhu.
we are trying it out first time now.
Yes.
Let us see how it goes. First of all, I wish to welcome every one of you here. Today is the last day of Purushottam Mass. It's very, very auspicious.
Yes.
Many devotees have spent the Purushottam Mass very fruitfully. Some devotees have chanted more rounds, and some have read very nicely Prabhupada books. And some devotees have been hearing many, many lectures. Many senior Vaishnavas like Radha Gopinath Prabhu, His Holiness Bhaktivinoda Maharaj, and even His Holiness Ranath Maharaj was giving also, and His Holiness Gopal Maharaj every Sunday morning he was giving. So many of you have been hearing various lectures, and yatras have been happening also during this month, Nasik and other places. So many have spent this month very nicely. Very soon the Kartik month is about to start. Very soon. So is my volume good enough, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Volume is very good, Prabhuji. I can hear.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Thank you. So the reason I felt we should start this kind of series, some people told me that although
Volume is little bit slow, Prabhuji. Volume is little bit slow.
oh, volume is slow.
Yes, Prabhuji. Increase little bit.
Mobile. Prabhu, you are seeing on mobile, is it mobile or in your computer?
Mobile, Prabhuji.
You're saying mobile has a limitation of volume, your mobile.
Okay.
You are keeping
Okay.
full volume, you are keeping?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, in that case, you have to use headphones if it is mobile. Then it will be more
Yes,
clear.
I'm using headphones only. Okay, no problem, Prabhu. No problem. Continue.
Hare Krishna.
Anybody
Hare
else is facing?
Krishna, Prabhuji. Mohan Krishna Das. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, voice I am hearing from laptop only, but voice is not so clear. Leelanand Prabhu's voice is clear, Prabhuji, but your voice is little bit low.
Just 1 minute, Prabhu. I'll arrange it now.
We are using iPad also, Prabhu.
Just check it. Increase the volume.
Computer,
Acha, is it? That was low, huh?
Now it is good, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, now is okay, Prabhuji. Perfect.
Now it's okay. Now it's okay.
See?
Yes, Prabhu. Now it is okay.
It's more clear. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah.
Now it's clear.
Thank you. So, I heard that although the COVID medicine has already come, it has not been distributed outside because there is a very big political racket and all. Many countries want to launch it simultaneously so that one country doesn't take the biggest profit. But it will take time. They are saying it may become even February, January, February, March, it may become. Lockdown may open, but there
Prabhu, voice is stopped, Prabhuji.
You are in mute, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, can you unmute yourself?
Prabhuji, you are on mute.
Yeah, now it's unmuted.
Sorry.
Automatically
Yes.
muted.
No, Prabhuji. Actually, I had muted because some noises were coming.
Okay.
So I did not know that you being the host, even you will be muted. I never knew that.
Okay.
Sorry about that, Prabhuji.
No problem, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yeah.
So therefore, I thought that we'll make a beginning. As long as we have to meet in Zoom, we will meet. And then when Radha Madan Mohan Temple doors are open for bigger programs in the Dwarka Hall, we will do that. We will. Till then, we will try continuing like this. Today, you all can tell your experience, how you felt about the program to Leelanand Prabhu. Accordingly, we will try to make it better for you. So I will show the notes to you. Just a minute. Om Jnanatu Nirandasya. Where is that? Here. Yeah. So, how is this note? Is it clear, or should I make it bigger for you?
For me on the computer, it is clear, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Quite clear, Prabhuji, on the computer screen.
Okay.
Mobile also it is clear, Prabhuji.
Okay. Then it's good enough. Thank you.
Okay, Prabhu.
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshukhuvanmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Swami. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshadharine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the goal of this slate program, for which we all have assembled today, is give all of us an opportunity to polish our skills of servant leadership, so that we can ourselves practice Krishna consciousness very happily, and we can also make the devotees around us happy also. You will see in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates were all taking prasadam, Jagannath prasadam, Mahaprabhu would actually praise the devotees as if he had 5 mouths, He would glorify devotees, and the devotee would feel shy. And the devotees, would never want to boast about themselves. They would always feel themselves very small and insignificant. But Mahaprabhu, when he would praise them, that will make them even more humble. Just like a tree laden with fruits always bends down. Vidya vinayana shobhate. But a tree which has no fruits, like Ashoka tree, it just stands erect. Similarly, people with no Vaishnava qualities, they become very proud. And people with abundant Vaishnava qualities, like very tasty fruits, they naturally become humble. So many of us have heard about the glory of humility, and many a times we make an effort also to be humble. But oftentimes there are occasions in which we deal with certain devotees where sparks come out in our relationship, and there we are unable to be humble anymore. We become angry, we become upset, or we become boastful, and we start making a list of our achievements and accomplishments to them in order to gain their respect towards us, and we cannot tolerate. Like one time, 2 devotees met me. One was a HOD and one was an assistant. This HOD was having a furious eyes, and he was throwing an angry glance at the subordinate, and he said, "This subordinate doesn't respect me because I am undergraduate and he is postgraduate," he was telling. And the subordinate says, "Prabhuji, I was not even aware that he is undergraduate." He is just saying this, I was just presenting a suggestion, and he considers it as insubordination. I really don't know, Prabhuji, what to do. Then later on, I called the senior privately and told him, "Prabhu, your subordinate giving a suggestion should not be seen as rebellion or insubordination. We can always take good ideas from anybody." I told him Prabhupada took one idea from a postman who suggested him, instead of Bhakti Godhead magazine, he said, "Why don't you print books?" And Prabhupada took that as his guru's order coming from postman. So why I am telling you this, there are practical life situations where we are put to challenges. So therefore, this seminar is going to help us to, take a look at our behaviors and how to modify it in such a way based on Chaitanya Charitamrita and based on Srimad Bhagavatam purports of Prabhupada. Because the slate program is mainly made based on Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam and CC. The base material is from those books only. And sometimes I have written a skit in order to make it interesting and easy to grasp the concept. So this is called as a scale of humility, we call it. Scale of humility means Just like with the scale, you measure the distances. Similarly, we can measure how much humility I have by asking these 5 questions. First question is SRCGD test, we call it. How can you remember this SRCGD? I have a very easy acrosist for this. Acrosist means for each of the first letters, I will tell you a sentence. If you remember this sentence, you can easily remember this title also. Shri Radha Consciousness Gaura Dances. If you remember this, SRCGD, Shri Radha Consciousness Gaura Dances. So you can remember that. So the S stands for, do I really try to serve other Vaishnavas, or I want to be served by others? Do I really respect all Vaishnavas, or I always strive after gaining respect? Do I really care for other Vaishnavas' needs and interests and concerns and expectations? Or do I expect others to care for me and make my life convenient and everything? And G for, do I feel glad upon seeing others' advancement? Or do I feel envious by seeing others' advancement? And D for, do I depend on Guru, superiors and Krishna for deciding what I should do in life? Or do I decide things on my own independently without any consultation or advice? These are the 5 things, S, R, C, G, D. And each of it will be elaborated. This workshop, we are going to do it in, I think about, just a minute, I'll just see. It's 4 sittings or 3 sittings, I'll just see it. It is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sittings, yeah. So, this is the first sitting we will complete on service today. Yes. And there is service, respect and care, they take more time. The other 2 are shorter. So I will be giving you separate booklets each time in this coming 4 months. And we'll finish this workshop in 4 months. And then you will have something very substantial to practice as well as to share with your other devotees in your touch. So somebody can read the first paragraph, please. Yeah, somebody.
Everyone must serve someone. We can't exist without serving. We serve our family, friends, boss, country. If somebody's children are abroad and there is no one at home, an old man gets a pet dog to serve it. Even if we manage to avoid all those services, we can't escape serving the demands of our own body, mind, and senses. We all must serve, whether we are a Hindu, Muslim, Christian, or Jew, American, Indian, European, or Asian. So what, you might ask? So it follows that since we are servants by nature, we are subordinate to a higher power. And to control that higher power must have intelligence and must therefore be a person.
Okay. So now I will explain this now. See, as soon as we are all born in this world, when you were a small child, think about it, we were completely under the control of mother. Mother will say, hey, sit here, eat this, don't go out, like that she says. And we have to be completely obedient to her. We had practically no control. So we were actually servant of the mother. Then as we grow up, when you are working in a company, you will see the company tells you, you have to come at 9 o'clock in the morning. You can only leave the company at 6 o'clock in the evening. The company bus will bring you, company bus will take you back, and you have to punch the card. You have to carry the company, identity card, and wear it around your neck all day. So in this way, we are very solidly servants of the company. We have no freedom. If somebody is working in an army, then they have a lot of restrictions also for them. In this way, if one carefully observes the life, one can see that in all stages we are actually serving somebody. Now think about it. Everybody in this world is generally selfish. They think, it's I will enjoy. I am free. It's for me. Everybody thinks about enjoying themselves, but they end up serving somebody. As I told you, at every stage of life. Like even if you take a very rich man, Prabhupada was saying that he told the rich man, can you sit and hear a lecture from Bhagavad Gita? So the man said, no, Swamiji, I'm very busy, Busy with what? I'm busy with business, he said. Why are you doing business? He said. Oh, I have to make money. He said. Make money for what? Oh, I have a very big joint family I have to maintain. So Prabhupada made the point. He is rich, he is thinking he is independent, but he has to serve somebody in this world. So you will see, Prabhupada says here, nobody can escape service in this world. In fact, even after the death also, you will see that the person's body is not utilized for him, it is fed into the fire. Yeah? So one has to think that if you at all have to serve somebody, why not serve Krishna? That is the question the Shastras ask. So if I serve Krishna, then Krishna says that as long as one does not serve Krishna, then one serves Maya. But in this world, people are trying to become master of Maya instead of being servant of Maya. They try to become master of Maya so that Maya will not control them. But nobody can become master of Maya. Only one person is master of Maya, who is Krishna. He says, Mama Maya Duratya. Yeah, he says that. Maya is under Maya Adhyakshana Prakriti. He says that. But actually, you can control Maya if we become Krishna's servant. Because when Krishna says that if you become my servant, I will tell Maya to go away. And then you are no more Godas, you will be Goswami. He says like that. So the difference between a person who is a servant of Maya and master of Maya is that person is master of Maya who has taken shelter of Krishna. He is master of Maya. Therefore, we all have taken a devotion service so that we don't have to serve this thanklessly this world of Maya, but we can eternally serve Srimati Radharani. And through her, we serve Krishna. So what I told you till now is about only one point, that at the end of the day, we all are servants, but we have the choice. Do we want to, you can read the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, last purport. There Prabhupada says, in this world, there are two weaknesses of heart, he says. One weakness is, to try to lord over Maya. And the second weakness is to become attached to Maya and become a slave of Maya. Like that he says. For example, if I give you an example, it will become very easy. Once a person was climbing a mountain, and it was very hot sunny day. So he was praying, oh Ram, Godi Dilade, he was telling, please give me a Godi. So Lord gave him a Godi. And then he climbed on the back of the horse. And then he was thinking that now I am enjoying, I don't have to walk. I can boss over the horse and horse will take me. Horse went a little distance and stopped them because she gave birth to a baby horse. And then the man thought, my Lord, now I have a horse and a baby horse, and the horse is refusing to move. What to do? Then he thought for a moment, and then he took the baby horse on his shoulder. And he walked. And the mother horse also walked behind him. Then he felt himself very proud. He told all the people, see, this horse was not getting up. Now I made the horse walk behind me. In this way, I am the boss of the horse, like that he said. And people told him, how do you say you are the boss of the horse? Because earlier you didn't have this luggage of the pony or the baby horse. Now the horse is coming behind you, but then you are carrying the pony horse on your shoulder. So in fact your luggage has increased, not reduced, they said. Then he realized, oh yeah, that's true. So this is how Maya cheats, Prabhupada says. We generally tend to think we can we can boss over Maya and become servant of Maya, he says. Like for example, many people sometimes take two jobs. One job during the day, one job in the evening, one job in the early morning. Thinking that these jobs will actually give me more money to cater to my needs, but eventually they become slaves of these jobs and they ruin their health. So when we come to the Vaishnava circle, one big benefit we have received till date. What is it? We have been taught this secret that we are servant of Krishna and we are also servant of devotees. And by adopting this mood, we come to our original health of the soul. Soul's original health is Kopi Bhartur Padakamalayur Dasa Dasa Anudas. That is actually the real identity of the soul. Actually, some people naturally accept it and some people accept it by a school of hard knocks. So those who accept to the school of hard knocks, they are the ones very frustrated, whether in the path of devotional service or outside the path of devotional service, whether in material world or in spiritual circle. Devotees who refuse to accept the mood of a servant, they suffer very terribly. Some people even feel Krishna consciousness is great suffering. They feel because of the false ego, they actually suffer too much because of false ego. So we want to get rid of this false ego, and false ego is like a viral fever, clinging on to us. You know, when you take antibiotics and the viral fever is gone, after 3 days you feel very relieved, isn't it? Similarly, if we can get rid of the false ego, we can be so happy in our natural position. So therefore, this is the first thing that is being taught here. Yeah. So I will not read these things. You have the notes with you. This first paragraph you can read yourself. So here, these 5 questions which I told you, they are given here. So we are going to read these 5 questions now, and then we proceed. Okay. Prabhu, can read it? First question.
Yes, Prabhuji. I just wanted to ask if anybody else wants to volunteer to read.
Yes.
How eager I am to serve. How eager am I to serve, and do I want to be served? Great souls always try to serve Hari, Guru and Vaishnava selflessly, voluntarily, with loving service, sacrifice, without any motivation, without interruption, unconditionally, and with one's body, mind and words, with the desire to benefit them in relation to Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, correct. So there are many details given here that our actual goal of life is to come to a point where we serve not only Krishna but also Hari, Guru, Vaishnavas. I'll tell you the reason why. Actually, when we please the Vaishnavas, then Vaishnavas give good report about us to our Guru. And when Guru is pleased, Yasya Prasadat Bhagavat Prasado, we say, no? So then Lord Hari is pleased. That means pleasing Krishna is not a very easy thing. First you have to please the Vaishnavas, then Vaishnavas are pleased, then Guru is pleased, then Guru is pleased, Krishna is pleased. One example I'll tell you. Recently, I got a letter from my spiritual master, which was only 2-3 lines only, letter. The letter said that, Dear Radheshyam Prabhu, I am very happy with your services in ISKCON Hyderabad temple. May Krishna bless you and all that. That like the 2-3 lines he wrote. And I was wondering, my spiritual master generally doesn't reply to me, even if I send a 20-page report to him. I have experience in the past. He would never reply to my mails and or the reports. But later on, when he would return to India, I would ask him, Maharaj, I sent a report to you. Oh, I have seen your report. He will say, Maharaj, I flipped through it. I saw it, he will say. But he will never reply. But how did this letter come? I was taken by surprise. Because I never sent him any report about Hyderabad. I was wondering, maybe some of our congregation people must have written a mail to Maharaj about how everything is going well and anything. I was thinking. But later I came to know how Maharaj wrote the mail to me. Because we send our HTMC meeting minutes to Bhanu Maharaj, and His Holiness Bhanu Maharaj, and His Grace Revati Raman Prabhu, and His Grace Vasugosh Prabhu. These 3 people we send. So Vasugosh Prabhu is very happy about Hyderabad. Everything is blossoming so wonderfully. So he wrote this letter to Maharaj. He forwarded to Maharaj and said, Maharaja, Viro is very happy with Hyderabad. Everything is happening nicely. Radheshyam is doing well in Hyderabad, like that. And Maharaj was pleased because it's coming from somebody else. I am not telling Maharaj I am doing well, but some like Vasugosh Prabhu wrote to him that Maharaj immediately felt like writing a letter. So we may not know, some Vaishnava here, some Vaishnava there may feel good about us, and they may say something nice to our Guru, and the Guru's heart, if it is pleased, then his blessing will come on our community. It may come like that. Therefore, the Vaishnava should always endeavor to serve the other Vaishnavas with utmost care and attention. And we, at the same time, if we offend the Vaishnavas or we make them suffer, then that produces displeasure in their heart also. That also comes out as grievance signal and many other problems. So therefore, here he says that if you please the Vaishnavas, then Guru is pleased. If Guru is pleased, then Krishna is pleased. If Krishna is pleased, everything will come out well in our spiritual life. So in this way, for me to please all the Vaishnavas, what I will have to do, each of us have to ask. What if I do, Vaishnavas will be pleased? What will they not be pleased? Because Vaishnavas reflect the pleasure of Krishna. If Krishna is not pleased with me, then Vaishnavas also will be displeased. Then I will have to modify my speech, my behavior, my conduct, my lifestyle in order to please them. So that's the first point. And then now the second, third, fourth one we will read later when we come to those respective things. Respect and care and glad. I have briefly told you. Now, if you see this title, how eager am I to serve? And that under that I have given on doing much good to yourself and to your audience. This word was told by Bhaktivinoda Thakur to Prabhupada. He told Prabhupada that, see, Prabhupada is writing a letter to his guru. One of you can read it, please? This, when did he write it? I think, this is, he got a reply from his guru also. 1933, I think he wrote. Can you please read it? Dear Guru Maharaj.
Dear Guru Maharaj,
Yeah.
Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. You have got many disciples, and I am one of them. But they are doing direct service to you. Some of them are brahmacharis, some of them are sannyasis, but I am a householder. I cannot. Sometimes I give monetary help, while I cannot give you direct service. Is there any particular service I can do?
Like that, our Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, in his Purva Ashrama, Grihastha Ashram, he wrote like this to his guru. And his guru, within 2 weeks, he replied him. And this is what he wrote. Yeah. The guru's reply to disciple now. Yeah. Yeah, please.
I am fully confident that you can explain in English our thoughts and arrangements to the people who are not
Thoughts and arguments, yeah.
Thoughts and arguments to the people who are not conversant with the languages of the other members. This will do much good to yourself as well as your audience. I have every hope that you can turn yourself into a very good English preacher if you serve the mission to inculcate the novel impression of Lord Chaitanya's teachings in the people in general as well as philosophers and religionists.
So here a very specific instruction Guru is giving to disciple. He wants him to become an English preacher and serve the mission. And he also wants him to teach Lord Chaitanya's teachings to common people as well as to specific philosophers and religionists who are intelligentsia. They are Brahminical people, intelligent people. So he's giving a specific instruction. You do this, then, it will be a very great service, like that he's telling. So he immediately recognized the instruction. But this is the same instruction his guru had given him in 1922. You all know that meeting of Abhay with his guru in the Ultadanga Matha, isn't it? 1922. That time he had told, turn yourself into a very good English preacher. This will do much good to yourself as well as your audience. The same thing he had given that time. And now he is giving the same instruction. So it became reconfirmed for Prabhupada. And then, so I have written some questions here. So these questions I am not going to discuss answers now, which you will all do it yourself. Yeah, this is further. Yeah. You can read this below. You should live somehow or other. Yeah. Anybody else would like to read, please?
You should live somehow or other without any quarrel in this mortal world, only for the service of Godhead. Do not, please, give up the service of Godhead, in spite of all dangers, all criticisms, and all discomforts. Do not be disappointed, for most of the people in the world do not serve the personality of Godhead. Do not give up your own service, which is your everything and all. Neither reject the process of chanting and hearing of the transcendental holy name of Godhead. We should always chant the transcendental name of Godhead with patience and forbearance, like a tree, and humbleness like a straw. There are many amongst you who are well qualified and able workers. We have no other desire whatsoever. In his last days, he had remained fully conscious and had given instructions until the end. He had specifically and openly ordered that the affairs of his Gaudiya Math be maintained by a 12-man governing body, which the devotees should select amongst themselves. Finally, he had said, please accept my blessings to you all, present and absent. Please bear in mind that our sole duty and religion is to spread and propagate service to the Lord and his devotees. At 5:30 a.m. on January 1st, he breathed his last.
So it's about Bhaksan Saraswati Thakur. See, the last instruction he gave is, our sole duty and religion is to spread and propagate the service to the Lord and of his devotees. That means serving Hari, Guru, Vaishnavas. That is the only goal of life. That's what he has said. So, and then Prabhupada came to know that Bhaksan Saraswati Thakur has passed away. Actually, he cried. He felt a great loss of the spiritual master. And then subsequently, Prabhupada says, in this paragraph, he will say that, he felt grateful. If you see in one place here, he will say, this particular place is saying, he felt grateful that he had received a special mercy, a final instruction, just 2 weeks before his guru departed. 1936 he received it. Abhay read his letter again and again. There would not be another letter now because guru has passed away. So the intimate talks and meetings were now gone. But by this letter, especially Abhay would live in the instructions of Bhaksan Saraswati Thakur. And you will see that he precisely followed it. Faithfully he executed it subsequently. So these question answers are all based on the above, after reading the para. I said this is about the para below here. Now what we have understood here till now in the letter of Bhaksan Saraswati Thakur, two very important things we learned in this. One thing is that serve Hari, Guru, Vaishnavas always. That is our sole purpose of life. That's one thing he said. Second thing he said, always propagate the message of the Supreme Lord to all the people of the world. So which means one is missionary activity of propagating the message, but that is not enough. We also have to do it in a mood of service to Hari, Guru and Vaishnavas. Because if somebody is not doing it in the mood of service, then it will not come out so well. It is not only quantity. So therefore, my Guru Maharaj used to say, presentation and representation. Presenting the philosophy means tattva. And representing the philosophy means sadachar. So, now which one is important? Any of you can say? Is presenting the philosophy important or representing important? Anybody?
Both are important.
Both are important, yeah. So we have to present the truth. At the same time, we also have to represent. So in the Sri Sampradaya, there is one example for this. Like a man with eyes is called as a person who knows the tattva. He knows the truth. And the man with legs who can walk from place to place, he is called as a man with sadachar. So what should we have? Should we have the eyes or should we have the legs? If you ask, we need both actually. Somebody, for example, if I know tattva, I can speak the tattva well. But if my sadachar is not up to the mark, then although, because of that, tattva will only remain with me. I will not be able to go and preach to other people. Nobody will want to listen from me. People will say that, hey, he's an arrogant devotee, he's a proud devotee. He has no seva bhav, he only speaks, he doesn't do any service. People will say like that. If you don't have good sadachar. Yeah. You can ask questions in between. In between also they can put in chat questions if they have. So, but on the other hand, if our sadachar is good, then people feel very encouraged to listen to tattva from us. So therefore, each of us as mentors or Bhakti Vriksha leaders or teachers, we have to, like our Prem Kirtan Prabhu rightly said, we have to pay attention to both. And so we can say our sadachar is like the package and tattva is like the product. So the product is unattractive without a very attractive package. For example, once we had put a book table in a marketplace, and in for 4 or 5 hours, only 10 books went. Although it's very crowded place, nobody purchased book. Then somebody said, if you can put 5 books together and wrap it with a golden wrapper and a ribbon and put a title, gift, like that you put it's a gift pack, like that you write. We did that. And within 1 hour, more than 300 books went away in 1 hour. Many people took packets because packet looks very attractive. They didn't even want to know what is inside. Because packet was very attractive. Gift pack, gift wrapper. So in this way, even if you know little for Krishna consciousness, by good sadachar, we are able to combine both and reach to people very easily. So, and therefore, good sadachar will require these 5 qualities, SRCGD, which we are discussing in this seminar, isn't it? So, if you have good sadachar, that is pleasing to the Vaishnavas, then they are ready to receive. Otherwise, it's not. So, should we present authoritatively or should we present pleasingly? So, for this, my spiritual master once gave a simple formula, CAP. You can remember CAP formula. CAP stands for compassionate, authoritative, and pleasing. 3 things. That means, our presentation should not be in a boastful or proud mood. It should be compassionately presented. And at the same time, it should be authoritative truth. We don't have to compromise on the truth. It should be authoritative. And pleasing means the same truth can be spoken in a very interesting way, pleasing way, without presenting the harsh reality in a hurting way. So he was telling that, for example, some people don't present compassionately. They tell people about the hell. There are 28 types of hell. If you don't do this, you will be sent to one of those hells. So that is not compassionate. That is a very harsh presentation. On the other hand, compassionate presentation means you can also tell the positive benefits of taking to Krishna consciousness. So in this way, our moods, qualities, attitudes come out as we go out and reaching out to people. So therefore, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling him, two instructions he is telling him. One, he is telling him, always try to serve Hari, Guru and Vaishnavas and please them, make them happy. That is one thing. That is sadachar. And then he is telling, propagate this mission of Lord Chaitanya. That is tattva. So both we have to do. We have to propagate the knowledge and we also have to propagate it in a very pleasing way to the people by our good conduct and behavior. So in this way, here this part is very important. Somebody can read this, please. Purusha means enjoyer. Yeah.
Purusha means enjoyer.
Yeah.
Here, woman is also thinking to enjoy, and the so-called man is also thinking to enjoy. Everyone, nobody wants to serve. Everyone wanted to be served. Purusha attitude. Everyone wants to be served. Nobody wants to serve. This is the material conception of life. So, when we agree to serve, not to be served, that is liberated person. When we agree to serve only, not to be served, not to accept service from others, but to serve others, that is real liberation. But here the material disease is that everyone is making plan how others will serve me. This is called Maya.
Yeah, for example, now I want to explain a little bit.
Yes,
the battlefield of Kurukshetra, you see Lord Krishna actually was assisting Arjuna by serving him as what? Charioteer. Is a Sarathi, Partha Sarathi. Correct, no? And Arjuna is a servant of Yudhishthir and Krishna became a servant of Arjuna. That means Krishna became servant of the servant. Arjuna is a servant, Krishna is Arjuna's servant. So he became servant of the servant. Krishna took such a role, humble role. But on the contrary, Arjuna in the beginning of the battlefield told Krishna, Senayor Ibyor Madhya Ratham Stapayame. Krishna, take me in the middle of the 2 armies and show me, I would like to supervise. So he was taking full control in his hands, so he was crying. But at the end of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna also became a servant, in the mood of a servant of Krishna. Karishye vachanam tava. Then he became happy. So if somebody is in a mood of servant of Krishna or the devotees, Hari Guru Vaishnavas, then he can become truly happy. But if somebody is in a Purusha Bhava means taking control in one's hands, then one can't be happy. In one particular temple, one Mataji came crying to a spiritual master. Maharaj, that senior Mataji is not letting me cook for you, like that. Maharaj immediately called some devotees, local authorities, and asked, what is happening? The authorities said that Maharaj, she's a new lady. Last year she got initiated from you, and she wants to cook for you this time. And the senior lady cooks for you last 10 years, whenever you come here. Then he told the authorities, why don't you tell the senior lady to accommodate this lady? Both of them can together cook for me. Then the authorities told him that, Maharaj, that senior lady already told her, come, let's both cook together. But she's saying, no. You move out of the kitchen. I will cook for Maharaj. I got initiated last year. I got a, opportunity for serving. You have served for so many years. You move out. I want to serve. So that time this Guru was telling her, you see, actually, if you assist that senior lady, I'll be very happy with you by that service. On the contrary, competing with another devotee and serving me, although you may serve me, that won't give me as much pleasure. So like this he was telling him. Of course, this Mataji, I don't know whether she understood that time. But the point is what? Guru wanted to tell her that assisting position is a safer position and a position where even Krishna himself wants to become a devotee and experience the sweetness of being servant. Therefore, he becomes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, isn't it? So even Krishna becomes servant of his own devotee, Arjuna, by becoming a charioteer. Similarly, in the Rajasuya Yajna, when Bhishma Pitama was the overall organizer, and Arjuna was fixed for receiving the sages and arrange for their accommodation and everything, personal care of the sages, Mahat Seva he was doing. Similarly, our Bhima was in the kitchen. He had, and Yudhishthira Maharaj was put in charge of treasury, taking care of all the gifts that would come. And Krishna voluntarily took up the service of washing the feet of the saintly people who were coming to the Rajasuya Yajna. Because in his heart, Krishna thought, Yudhishthira Maharaj is a Yajaman and I am his servant. So let me assist my dear devotee Yudhishthira by welcoming and washing the feet of the saintly people who come for the Rajasuya Yajna. Like that he thought. You can imagine, see, because Krishna has this consciousness, he is so happy, always, most happy. Similarly, in the pastime of Draupadi not wanting to kill Ashwatthama, you will see Krishna is Supreme Lord but never takes a lead. He allows Arjuna to decide, and even Draupadi's opinion was given weightage by Krishna and Arjuna. It goes to show that devotees are very conscientious of others' opinions, are willing to listen, and also Lord puts aside his Godhead, gives up his Godhood, and allows his own devotee Arjuna to make the decision. And although he is also there, very much there, but doesn't take lead. So in this way, the mood of servant is very prevalent in Krishna itself. We can see that. So Prabhupada is comparing the Purusha Bhav and Prakriti Bhav. Although we are Prakriti, the Purusha Bhav in us is what is causing problem, like that he is saying. And then in this way, that I explained it already. So here is a topic which is called frustrations from mastership mentality. And ever expanding joy from servitorship mentality. Yeah, please read it. Actually,
the living entity is an infinitesimal of spirit. As such, he is never equal to God, the Supreme Spirit.
Correct.
So, to equate the living entity with the God is nonsense. It's just a disguised form of atheism. The real reason why someone poses himself as God is so that he won't have to worship anyone but himself. This is generally what people like, especially in the present degraded age of Kali. People don't want to serve God. They want to be God. They want to be served, adored, and glorified. But the whole idea is absurd.
the part can never be equal to the whole. Any more than the hand can be equal to the entire body, nor can we enjoy like the Lord, although we try to, and this is our downfall.
Yeah. See, if you see, for example, there is a singular supreme and plural subordinate everywhere. In a home, there is a man, and then there is wife, children. They're all trying to assist the man, and then you find the whole house becomes a happy home, isn't it? And the man also is not supposed to be an enjoyer and demanding everybody serve me. Like, for example, imagine a man gets a fruit juice from the market. When he brings it home, then what will he do? Will he just take it in a glass and drink it himself? He will naturally share it with his wife, share it with his children. So he will share the happiness that he has with everybody, but everybody is supposed to cooperate with him. In the same manner, in a school, we have a headmaster. In a state, we have a chief minister. In a country, we have a prime minister. You will always find there is one singular leader and then plural subordinates. The Lord is that singular supreme, and we are all plural subordinates. And our nature is to be a servant. And this is actually basic philosophy, but a more advanced philosophy is, Lord is more happy. In the Adi Purana, Lord tells us, those who claim to be my devotees are not my devotees, but those who are servant of my devotees, they are my actual devotees. Krishna says that in the Adi Purana. Eme bhakta jana partha name bhakta, he says like that. Name bhakta te janaha, he says. Those people who are servant of my devotees, they are my actual devotees, he says. So it's one shortcut we can say, trying to please the other devotees by becoming their servant or assisting them actually gives joy to Krishna very quickly. Just like, for example, His Holiness Giriraj Maharaj went to one home of a millionaire, and he had a small boy. Maharaj gave him just one rasagulla. The boy ate it and he was so happy, he started jumping. He asked for one more and he ate. And the father said, my son actually has been a bit dull in the last few days. By the prasadam that you gave, he has eaten and he is so jolly now. Immediately the man took the checkbook and wrote some 5 lakh rupees and he gave it to Maharaj and said, please keep this token donation. I would like to give more in future. So Maharaj was telling, just see, I was actually taking the rasagulla to give to the man. But then somehow it occurred to me, I gave to the boy. Father feels more happy when you please his child than when you please him directly. And Krishna is exactly like this, he was telling. I can try to please Krishna. Some people are attached to deities, but they don't feel a service attitude towards devotees. That is considered a Kanishta Adhikari stage. The Madhyama Adhikari stage, we understand that the deities will be more pleased if I try to become servant of his devotees. So that's the point that is elaborated here in this whole discussion. That is the main point. So, okay, here there's a drama here. So there are how many characters? There are 3 characters: Govind, Shyam, and Rabi. There are 3 people. So 3 of you can play this role of Govinda, who is manager, and Shyam shows right behavior, and Rabi shows wrong behavior. So, and the Rabi who shows wrong behavior, we need a devotee who is little, strong in speaking. And the Shyam is supposed to be speaking a little softly. And Govind is a mature voice of a manager. So 3 people we need. You are all ready?
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Yes, so you can start.
I will try to become Ravi, Prabhu.
Okay, Ravi. Okay. Who is that? What's your good name?
Deepak.
Deepak will become Ravi. Okay. Who will become Shyam?
I'll become Shyam, Prabhu. Hare Krishna,
Okay.
Nandas.
Yes, Prabhuji. And Govind, manager?
Srinivas Govinda Das. I'll be here, Prabhuji.
Okay,
Srinivas
now,
Govinda.
yeah, Srinivas Govinda, you started.
It seems you do not have college today.
College is on, but my interest is gone. Ever since I started tasting Krishna Rasa, my Bhakti Nasha has increased. Bhakti Nasha has increased, and I am no more in Maya's Vasha, Prabhu.
Oh, you are nicely poetic, Rabi Prabhu, but you have to do your studies also well, like Arjuna did his duty. Otherwise, you will be in parents Vasha and your situation will be Buri Dasha.
See, Buri Dasha means if you don't study and get good marks, you will land in trouble. That's what he is saying. Yeah. Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. That is all right. I thought today is Radhastami day. Better stay back and pray for Radharani's mercy. Ultimately, without ascending service to Krishna through Radharani, how can descending mercy come upon me, Prabhu?
That's a wonderful thought. Because of your prayers to Radharani, she is sending you a golden opportunity to do some seva today. I was looking for someone who can help cut sabji now. All devotees have gone to college and kitchen devotees are overloaded due to many items to be cooked for the feast. Can you please help us with cutting sabji now, Prabhu?
My only problem is that I cut sabji big and small size unevenly, Prabhu. Radharani will be upset with me. Therefore, I suggest that you look for another devotee, please.
Okay, Prabhu. I will find out someone else. After 2 hours, Ravi Prabhu, the boga is ready now. Can you please help us offer the boga? Students will be arriving in 10 minutes for lunch prasad. Today is fasting till noon also. So they'll be hungry. Can you please offer this boga plate?
Prabhu, how can I, such a fallen soul, offer bhoga on a Radhastami day? Radha is being served by exalted personalities like Lalita and Vishakha. I am a fallen soul, Prabhu. Better you only offer, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu. I'll do the needful since I have no one else to offer. After half an hour, Prabhus, prasad is ready. Please, all of you come. Mahaprasade Govinde.
Ravi comes first running with his prasadam plate and sits down, eager to eat prasad.
Ravi Prabhu, can you help me serve prasad, especially for the students who wants to rush to college after lunch? You can sit in the second round.
Prabhu, there are 24 junior devotees around here, and today is the auspicious Radhastami day. Just make an announcement and you will get someone somehow to help you serve. Doing service is good for their spiritual progress, Prabhu.
Okay, Ravi Prabhu. Then you may sit down in first round if you wish and take your prasadam.
How can I not follow your instruction, Prabhu? After all, you are my senior. I am ready here with my plate.
So now let me ask you a few lessons from this, what you learned. Anybody? Any of you? Leela and Prabhu, are they unmuted? They can speak if somebody wishes to say.
Yes, they can unmute themselves.
Oh, they can unmute themselves? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. Anybody would like to, actually why I am asking this question to all of you, you heard the skit now. It's a student skit, but the principle applies everywhere. Whether it is student, you are grown up, you are married, you are unmarried. The mood is what we are trying to learn. So I wish to check. Yeah, anybody?
Prabhuji, Ravi is wanting...
Hey, no. Deepak Prabhu. Those who acted the drama will not speak because you have already acted out very nicely. I want the audience attendees to think and come up with 3-4 lessons from this. So let us see.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Udayanand Prabhu. Yes, Udayanand Prabhu.
Prabhuji, maybe it's like...
Prabhu, those who are speaking can unmute your video also. The devotees can see you. Those who while speaking, you can unmute.
Yes. Prabhuji, those instructions which are comfortable to me, I might treat those instructions as instructions, and those which are difficult for me to do, I wouldn't consider them as instructions. So, the way that I interpret the instruction is like those which are comfortable for me to do and live in a comfort zone.
You're right. So what was comfortable for Ravi in this skit?
Having prasadam, Prabhu.
Yeah, that was the most comfortable thing. Everything else was uncomfortable. Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice. Thank you. Anybody?
Thank you, Prabhu. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, anybody else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Darshak Prabhu, yeah, please.
Prabhu, in the name of Krishna consciousness, he was, missing his occupational duty of not going to college.
Yes.
And then he was sitting idle for the whole day.
Neither was he going to college, nor was he doing service. Thank you. Good observation. Thank you. Anybody else? Any Matajis? We heard two Prabhujis gave nice answer. Anything else you learned from the drama? Any other Prabhu?
Prabhuji, whenever service comes, then we will skip. Whenever sense gratification comes, then we will accept.
Okay, is it Janardhan Prabhu? Janardhan Reddy Prabhu, huh? Correct.
Yes, Prabhuji.
He captured a very good point, Janardhan Prabhu. He's saying that whenever service comes, people give some excuses. Whenever sense gratification comes or enjoyment opportunity comes, people take advantage, saying that it's your instruction and all that. Very nice observation. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Anybody else? One more lesson.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Pranam Prabhu.
Satyanarayana Prabhu.
He is skipping the service nicely, naturally.
Yeah.
And suitably, so that nobody can even point out him also.
You made a good observation. Actually, not only is he not doing service, he seems to be having very nice excuse. So the excuse that he is giving, is it correct excuse or wrong excuse?
It is not correct, Prabhu.
It's not correct. It's not genuine. It's a wrong excuse. You are right. Correct. It's not it. Thank you, Prabhu. Satyanarayana Prabhu, nice observation. Thank you.
It appears that he knows the philosophy very well.
That means he's actually misusing the philosophy. He is actually misusing the philosophy to fulfill his own nefarious motives. So his only motive is to be lethargic and lazy and not do service. And he is using Krishna conscious philosophy for a wrong purpose. So that is a very deep point that our Prem Kirtan Prabhu captured that point. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. Anybody else want to say anything else about this kid? You learned well?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Yeah. Who is that? What is the name? I couldn't see this.
Prabhuji, my name is Anusha Saravanan.
Okay. Yes, Mataji, please.
Prabhuji, the observation I made is that he's making the worst use of the best scenario.
Yes.
We rarely get an opportunity to serve Hariguru Vaishnavas.
Yes.
So even if he doesn't have a qualification, he should be willing to change and maybe learn things and do it properly.
Yes.
So that attitude was also not there.
What you said is very true. He's getting a golden opportunity for service on a Radhashtami day. He's foregoing that opportunity foolishly by giving some glib excuses. Yeah, that is true. Yeah. So in this way, in our life also, Krishna comes and taps our door in various ways. Like now this month was Purushottam Mas month, and subsequently Kartik month is coming. So time and time again, we get many opportunities for service. And sometimes we think, first I will complete this thing, that thing, and then I will do service, and service never happens. So from this, the right lesson we can learn is, when service opportunity comes, we should be willing. We should be willing to take up, if not the whole service, at least a part of the service we can take. That lesson we learn. Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Anybody else?
So we should not be choosy about the services.
We should be willing to extend ourselves for any service. That's very nice. Thank you. And that was Vimal Prabhu. And then Gajendranath Prabhu, yeah?
Prabhuji, the manager was so compassionate. He was always, that boy was giving excuse, but he wants to engage him in the service.
Yeah, the manager was very extending manager. He thought that, if you won't do one thing, let me give him another. He gave multiple opportunities he gave, but this fellow, slipped out from all the opportunities. Yeah. So in this way, we can see there are people, they may be devotees, but they are not able to take advantage of their devotee life. When the opportunities come, people forego the opportunities. Because these are the opportunities which give us Sukriti, Bhakti Sukriti. And that is how we make progress in our spiritual life. Like, for example, every year, December time, we have marathon for distributing books. Janmashtami time, we have fundraising opportunity. Similarly, in Kartik month, we have opportunity to go to Yatra and associate with all the devotees. Similarly, different times of the year, like Damodar month, also many homes, we cultivate people, new people in that way. Bhadra Purnima time, we can distribute Bhagavatam sets. In this way, if you think about throughout the year, there are various months in which various service seva opportunities come. So every devotee should consider that besides my 16 rounds chanting and following 4 regs and studying Prabhupada books, I am benefiting myself from Prabhupada mission. So how can I render some service? One should think. Huh? Yeah, thank you. Anyone else? One more lesson?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Danda from Prabhuji.
Vikram.
He thinks he's a senior devotee and he considers everyone is a junior devotees.
Actually, even if I am senior, I still have to do some service. He's engaging all the first year boys. You know, I read in Srimad Bhagavatam, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary, I heard that when Brahma was in his loka doing puja, at that time Aghasura happened and all the demigods started playing kettle drums and showering flowers, and Brahma came out. He asked, why are all demigods so happy? Kya hua, kya hua? What happened? What happened? He asked. The demigods told the whole story about Aghasura. So at that time, Brahma started making a plan that I will also do some very extraordinary work, something appealing to all the demigods. So then he tried to do that Brahma Vimohan Leela. It is said, Yevam sammohayan Vishnum vimoham vishvamohanam swayaiva mayaya ajopi swayameva vimohitaha. He tried to put Krishna in illusion, but he himself got illusioned by the pastime.
One more thing. We often hear that service is given for our purification. And I felt that the devotee here was not recognizing that his guru was actually giving a service for his purification. He was looking at it like it is choice to accept it or reject it.
Correct. He didn't see the seva opportunity as meant for purification. Thank you, Prabhu. That was a good point. And the point I was about to make was Brahma gave service to all demigods, but he didn't take any service himself. Because of that, his mind was Kali. An idle man's mind is a devil's workshop. Therefore, he went for Brahma Vimohan Leela, like that Chakravarti Thakur says. Therefore, even as leaders, we all have to give engagement for ourselves also. After giving everybody engagement, we should have engagement for ourselves also. Actually, why the Sham role is missing in the drama? Because I thought that like Prabhujis, we are given opportunity, the Matajis should be given opportunity. Therefore, I removed the Sham's role and I made another skit, which I will show you now. We can have 2 Matajis read this. The next one here, following one. Sacrificing and extending to serve softens the heart and charms the Lord and devotees. Okay, we need 2 people. Lalita Mataji is a manager and Shama is a good attitude devotee. I like that I changed it. Please, we can have 2 characters. 2 Matajis can read this.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
Yeah. Ishwari Priya Mataji will become Lalita manager, is it?
Yes.
Okay. And one more we need Shama Mataji for playing the role of another role. We have one more?
I can.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Who is that? Aradhita Mataji, is it?
Hare Krishna,
Okay.
Dandavat.
Yeah, please start, both of you. We can start now. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Lalita. You seem to be rushing to college, Shama. I have a small service to be done. I was wondering whether I would be disturbing you by asking a favor.
No. Please tell me what needs to be done. I will try my level best. I'm just going to college in half an hour to give a test.
Oh, you have a test? Some sabji had to be cut and there is a shortage of devotees. Also 10 liters of milk has to be brought within an hour from the market for Sevai sweet making. Today is Radhashtami festival day. I was looking for some help.
After all, we are all 20 girls staying together as one family. We have to work together to please Guru and Krishna. I can take care of bringing milk, Lalita. I will find out who can cut sabji very soon.
Okay, that's nice. I will find out someone else for cutting sabji. You can arrange milk to be brought. Sorry for putting more anxiety on you on your test day.
No problem. It is my privilege. Oh, milkmaid, I need 10 liters of milk within 30 minutes. Can you home deliver it to us? Hand it over to Lalita Devi. Here is her mobile. Here is the mobile number of milkmaid who will bring you milk within 30 minutes.
Thank you so much for your prompt seva, Shama. You are really blessed to be so kind.
Also, Lalita, I found out that Vishaka's test is postponed to next week. She just told me she's available to cut sabji for you. I checked with her over phone. She will be back from her tuitions in 5 minutes.
Oh, that's a wonderful. You have done both my service, Shama. My best wishes for you test today. I heard a saying, if you have an important service to do catch, the busiest person only she can find time. That is truly true in your case, Shama. You do so many favors and still are always cheerful without complaint.
I wish I could be better service to you to relieve your anxiety. You are our leader taking care of all of us. How can we not make our best efforts to please you, Lalita? Hari Bol.
Yeah. Okay. So you all understood. Huh? Actually, this kit has a different set of situation than the previous one. Here, some sabji has to be cut and the milk has to be purchased. There was one more service. What was that? There were 2 or 3 services. I think sabji was. Yeah, what was the third one?
2 services.
Yeah, purchasing the milk and cutting the sabji, I think. Correct now? Yeah. So, and also this girl had a test also in the school. Generally what happens, when we have something pressing in our life, we become angry when somebody gives service. We ask them, don't you see, I have an exam today. How can you disturb me? You should have common sense to not disturb me. Like that's what everybody feels generally. So to maintain a cool head, even though one may have a test to render service like this, is not very easy, isn't it? So anybody made a special observation? Anybody would like to speak? Narasimha Prabhu, you want to say? Sandeep, yes. Who is going to speak?
Yes, Prabhu. Actually, though Shama not only did some service on her own, but she used to get service from others also to help Lalita Mata.
Correct.
So that is a very good thing.
In case one is unable to do, if one is unable to do, one can always find out someone who can do, because the managers are always seeking help. Okay, if I can't do, I get another person who can do, then the manager is happy. That's the way we can make the superiors happy. Yeah. Instead of saying no, like I asked one devotee, what is my verse I have to speak for Bhagavatam tomorrow? The devotee said, I don't know, he said. I said, what kind of answer is this? See, I don't know, I also don't know, you also don't know. So I don't know answer is not useful. What you should say, oh Prabhu, you want to know the verse for tomorrow? I'll find out and tell you. Give me 5 minutes. And that is a good answer, correct, no? Because you're going to find and tell me. So in our service also, how to please the Vaishnavas, if somebody is seeking help, we can say that, sorry, I can't do. That's a very easy answer anybody can give. But if somebody says, please give me a little time, I will identify who can help you. That's a better help, yeah. Sandeep also had a hand up, yeah. Sandeep, you would like to say?
Yeah. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Probably 2 lessons, Prabhu. One lesson is like balancing the spiritual and the professional thing. She was able to balance both the. And the second important is the desire. So if you have a strong desire that, for doing the service right in Krishna, automatically arranges everything.
And Krishna gives intelligence. Dadami buddhi yogam. He says, I will give you intelligence by which you can manage many things. Yeah, that is true. Thank you. Brilliant it is. Very nice. Anybody else?
Last sentence, Prabhuji, how Shama is appreciating Lalita, saying that you are our leader, taking care of all of us. How she is having gratitude towards the leader. How can we not make our best efforts to please you, Lalita? She is showing her gratitude, to her leader.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that means the attitude is quite good, isn't it? Yeah.
Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, the attitude is very wonderful. Yeah. Here, Leland was asked a question here. Is it wrong on the servant's part to be recognized for his services by his master? If no, then how to expect that recognition to come? And what one should do when he feels his work is not being known, what should be the servant's consciousness in both cases? When recognized and when not recognized. So generally, Krishna reciprocates with our service, in various forms. Like your equals will cheer you up. Sometimes superiors will take notice of it and they will give a pat on the back and appreciation. It may come in the form of words or it may come in the form of gifts and things like that. And in case it doesn't come, what our scriptures say, the service itself is reward. For example, a Brahmana gives knowledge to people. He doesn't expect a salary in return. If people give charity, he will accept. If they don't give charity, he is just happy that I could do my dharma. My vritti is to give knowledge, which I have already done. So the Lord is pleased with me. Similarly, Kshatriya will save you from a tiger or a lion in the jungle. And if you give him a 500 rupee note, he will say, hey, what are you doing? I am Kshatriya, I just did my duty. Like that he will say. Similarly, a Vaishya delights in giving charity. To Brahmana, he gives charity. To Kshatriya, he gives tax. To Shudras, he gives food, clothing, shelter. After giving to all the people, he is very blissful by giving to others. And a Shudra delights in doing service for the three classes. He likes hard work. If Brahmana tells him, carry this firewood for the yajna, he happily carries. Kshatriya tells him, become my foot soldier in my army. Then he becomes foot soldier in the army. Similarly, if Vaishyas engage him in business activities or Vaishya activities, like for example, working in the fields, hitting and removing the grains and things like that, he's very happy to do hard work. And hard work itself is reward for him. He doesn't get salary, so Shudra in the Vedic times, because if you give them money, they will drink liquor and go for wine and women. They are not given money. They are only given food, clothing, shelter. So you will see in this way, all the four classes of people are taught to delight in giving, not in grabbing. But in the modern times, the situation has changed. Everybody is in a grabbing mode, so they are not happy. Similarly, for example, if I am given service by a superior, oh, I was chosen for seva. Oh, I could do service. This will go to, ascending service, descending mercy. The service will go to Guru, and then go to Radharani. Radharani will give it to Krishna, and Krishna smiles, and Radharani will give that mercy to me down the line through the Guru, and the mercy will come, even though I can't visibly see it. The service itself is reward. One should think like that. So that's advanced consciousness to consider service itself as a reward. But that's what is Varnashrama. In Varnashrama, we consider the seva itself as a great gift. We think like that. But we also do get appreciation from seniors and equal friends. That was a nice question. Yeah. And when we are recognized, we should not become proud. If we become proud, then we go down. And when we are not recognized, we should not blame the superiors or the friends or Vaishnavas are ungrateful. We should not say that. We should know that, it's purifying. I did service and I only did my duty. Like that we should feel. When others do some service to us, we should think, oh, I taken a favor. Like that we should feel. When I do some service to others, I just did my duty. I am a Vaishnava, he is a Vaishnava. I tried my best to assist. Every Vaishnava would do that. If I am not here, somebody else would have done the same thing. I just did my duty. By thinking like this, knowing difference between duty and favor, we can have a peaceful mind. And one more question has come here. Is it wrong? Okay, that is answered, I think. Okay. Okay, yeah, that I have answered, yeah. Here, Kanaya Govind Prabhu has written, Shama Mataji managed to get the milk without her going personally. Yeah, that is also intelligence. Just made a phone call. It requires little presence of mind. Instead of displeasing Vaishnavas, we can use our presence of mind to do by instead of, I don't have time, I have a test, but I can make a phone call and arrange for it to be brought, which is what she did. That's true. That's really intelligence. Yeah. And Udayanand Prabhu is asking, how to inculcate the quality of not being when asked for a service on a busy day. Not becoming angry when asked for a service on a busy day. Good question it is. So, okay, generally what happens, we become preoccupied with our own worries. We are unable to accommodate other Vaishnavas into that zone of preoccupation, which is what we have to do. What we have to do, say I have something very busy on that day. somebody is giving me a service, then I should actually feel just as my own goals of life, which I have considered as very important, the services of Krishna and devotees also should be added in that list. Because if I think something for my wife, or my mother, my father, my brother, sister, family, we always extend ourselves. For example, say some member of a family is sick. We even take a leave for the office and we take them to the doctor, isn't it? Imagine on the contrary, in the community, some devotee is sick and there is nobody available at home to take them. If somebody can extend, if you consider them our family member, then we will do that. So, therefore, like in Pune, we have one team of 3-4 people. They take care of all the cremation part. If some Vaishnava passes away in the community, then they come forward, they go to the house, they guide them in everything, beginning with death certificate, and then informing all the members of the congregation, bringing the Vaishnava pujaris to do the Antyeshti and all that, and then taking them to the cremation ground, and everything is done. The family need not worry at all. All guidance is given to them. These people do that. But sometimes it so happened that 2 or 3 such cremations happened in the same month. A old Vaishnava was passing away. So at that time, they had to take 3 leaves in the same month, although they had to go on loss of pay. Sometimes it would happen like that. So why I'm saying this, sometimes if we are in a sacrificing spirit, just like Lalita was in a sacrificing mode, then we are ready to avoid becoming angry, and we stretch ourselves a little bit. We feel the pinch, we feel little difficulty. But if we do that, Krishna and Guru will become very pleased with us. Sometimes we have to do occasionally, not regularly. Sucharita Mataji has a question. If Shyama had suggested some other sweet not requiring milk, would it be offensive? An alternative without any other intention of escaping service. No, that wouldn't be offensive. It's a brilliant idea. Only thing is, she will have to ask the superior, is it all right? Because right now we have a crunch of devotee manpower. Like in our temple also, when subjugating no devotees are available, we make this channa dal, channa sabji. Because you don't have to cut it. It's ready-made. Just boil it and you can make it. So that's a good idea. It's a good suggestion. That is also a good presence of mind. But if the leader is saying that, we have made all other sweets several times, milk sweet would be better if you can make. If you cannot, then last resort, we will go to others. They may say sometimes. But this idea is a good idea. I like the idea. It's quite valid. Yeah. Thank you. That was nice. So I think we have completed it. Just 1 minute. Yeah. Actually, we could complete the notes for one reason, because we didn't do certain activities, because it would be a little laborious to do the activities and correct. Therefore, I didn't do my sincere request to all of you. In this booklet of 8 pages, when you come next month, before that you can go through the notes and you could answer the questions also. And I haven't revised the answers today. There were 3-4, if you remember, 3-4 tables we skipped. Because only this booklet is like that. Future booklets will be very easy. This first booklet had little more activities like this. So my request to all of you, please personally do it and you will immensely benefit from it. As Lilanpo, you can ask. No, you can ask Prabhuji. Still we have 5 minutes we have.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, one of the things that personally have struggled is to understand what is the image of a servant. Because before coming to Krishna consciousness, for that matter, even today, as soon as I think about a servant, it's about a master who is trying to put forward his demands on a servant. A servant who is never reciprocating back what he feels like, rather he is busy doing it, in a compromising way. That's the image, I'm talking about the image of the word servant that comes to the mind as soon as I hear it. So the question is, Prabhuji, when he receives the instruction, we know what to do. That is Dasya Bhav. Master, Supreme Spiritual Master has told, and I know what to do. But when he needs to inform his master about his discomfort or about an alternative solution, what is the image and what is the right example I can think of where a servant could reciprocate his emotions in a right way?
Yeah, actually, certainly the clarification is allowed, in any situation. There's no doubt about it. We can always clarify. Like that Mataji suggested a plan, no? Instead of milk sweet, we could go for alternative sweet. Why don't we do that? Because that will avoid the task. In the same manner, if a subordinate feels, therefore the superior subordinate relationship has to be very sweet and transcendental. Prabhupada says. Like for one example, I'll tell you. In the Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna told him to fight the battle, Arjuna is very lovingly arguing with Krishna. He is saying, Katam Bhishmamaham Sankhe Dronam Chamadusudana. You should be Pratiyotsyami Puja Arha Varisudana. He is telling, my dear Krishna, you are asking me to become Bhishma Sudan, Drona Sudan, but you are only Madhusudan. You will kill demons and you will be very happy, and you are asking me to kill worshipable warriors like Bhishma and Drona, who are actually, you should not even have a verbal battle with them. And you are telling me to quarrel with them. Is it justified? He is asking. Which goes to show the master-servant relationship is very sweet. See, the servant has so much confidence in the master that he has no fear to present like this to the master. Correct, no? And another place, Arjuna says, Asmabhihi, he uses the word. Asmabhihi means us. See, Krishna, you are telling me to fight a ghastly war. What will happen to our good name tomorrow? Our means who is included? Krishna is also included. He's telling Krishna, us is using Asmabhihi. He doesn't say Aham, he says Asmabhihi, which means, Krishna, your name and my name, we both are not separate. We are one unit. Like husband and wife are one unit. Similarly, Krishna and Arjuna are one unit in terms of the war because they both want to succeed in the battle. So, in this way, when a superior subordinate relationship is sweet and they both consider it like one unit, I think then it is possible for clarification without fear. People will not fear that if I clarify, I will be misunderstood as escaping from service, things like that, yeah. And in the Ravi drama, we saw that fellow was actually escaping, And that was a sure shot case. It was undoubtedly we could see easily. In the case of Lalita's drama, which we saw, she made her best efforts even in the examination day to try her best to help in all possible ways. So it's called helpful, being helpful, kind, courteous, extending, sacrificing, compassionate, and also willing to bend, flexible, adaptable. All these qualities come in a person who has a service mode. And one last thing I wanted to say, servant leadership, recently somewhere they asked me to give a seminar. ABVP wanted a seminar from me, so I prepared for that. So one amazing thing I learned about servant leadership. Servant leader means who? He actually makes the people in his custody into a great hero. Like Krishna, for example, he is not hero. He is riding the chariot. He's making who hero? He's making Arjuna into hero. That means what a servant leader will do, he will keep on supplying his people all the equipment. Say, take this Pashupatastra, take this celestial weapon. Now Bhima, you cut the body in such a way and put it like this so that Jarasandha will not get connected. He will keep on giving ideas from behind to make not only one hero, multiple heroes he will make, multiple. So a good leader is one who produces many, many leaders, and he will not have a stagnated group. Stagnated group is one which doesn't grow. But an expanding group is one where you make multiple leaders and you keep on empowering them, and you wish heartily to see them successful. You want to tomorrow see them do as much as you do, or even better than what you do also. It is actually joy for the father to see the son, like sometimes the father is a farmer, but the son became engineer. He's very happy. He never says, oh, no, I'm illiterate, my son became engineer, everybody will ridicule me. No, he doesn't feel like that. So this is a definition of a servant. Servant leader means he asks two questions only. How best can I serve in this situation? And how best can I make my people into effective leaders? These two things. So here is, after 2 to 3 chances given to Ravi, Can we stop asking the service? Correct, yeah. That's really intelligence, yeah, that is true, yeah. You understand that this fellow lacks attitude, so you leave him. But why that senior was giving him service over and over? Because he wanted to see this fellow improve and come out of the shell one day. He's in a comfort zone now. So he made an attempt to bring him out of comfort zone, which didn't work out. So sometimes it's difficult. You get really fed up. You can better find alternative to that, which is what most managers do. Now, not a bad idea, but ultimately, we all have some mentees with us, and we would like to do everybody. We want to bring them up. Somebody is way below, we bring them up a little bit at least, because without seva, he will not relish devotional service for a very long time if he's in an enjoying mood, bhogavriti. So you all have understood the subject very well today. I'm very pleased to see the way the responses came and the questions came and everything. Very nice. So the second, third booklet will be even more easy because I am also now modifying my slate programs in such a way that because I am also conducting the same abroad for some other people abroad, I have to be available on online mode. So I am making them notes modified and easy for this was made a little earlier. So in the further notes, you will find it a little more easier also. Thank you all very much for joining today. Many devotees have joined enthusiastically today. Thank you, Linanpu, for coordinating so beautifully. So many devotees to meet. My spiritual master was telling thanks to online medium by which we are able to reach to devotees despite the lockdown in our respective places. So I will be sending you notes to Lilan Prabhu next time also again. And Prabhu, we have fixed the third Friday of the next month. Yeah, Prabhu, your voice is muted.
It's not muted. Can you hear me, Prabhuji?
I can hear you now. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, I had actually sent the dates till next May to you.
I saw it. Yeah. I have marked it till December now, thinking that maybe January things may be released. I may come personally and the temples may be open. That was the idea. Yeah, and I will mark in Jan, Feb, March in case I have to continue online like this. I'll mark it. Even otherwise, if it is in Hyderabad, only thing is for all of you to travel and come would be difficult, na Prabhu, on a Friday evening, isn't it? 6:45 to 8:15, would it be all right for devotees to travel and come in case temple opens? That we can decide in December, I think.
As it comes, we can decide. One small request. Is there any, do you want to reiterate the criteria for being part of this group so that if anybody is missed out, the leaders will add them?
Yes, Prabhu. So I will tell you, recently, I told Murali Gopinath Prabhu to meet the core committee, our senior most devotees, and ask them to make a list of the Bhakti Vriksha leaders, teachers, and also the mentors with them. The list was about 122, I think. List was there. So in the past also, basically preachers, managers, counselors. These are the people who are actually fit for this type of session. And they should be taking some kind of leadership, preachers, managers, counselors. Because last time they told me some of them are not preachers or counselors, but they are very effective managers. They are coordinating many services, valuable services, they told me. And I said, okay, they can be included. So my request, Lilan Prabhu, is core committee, whatever they decide is final. You can connect with them. They are four of our Narasimha Suti Prabhu, Prem Kirtan Prabhu, Madan Kumar Prabhu, Shripati Prabhu, and Murali Gopinath Prabhu coordinates with them. So, and yourself. So you all plan together about who are the devotees fit. You all know best. You are locally situated. I am just a servant. Whatever from my side I have to do, I will do it. So you can make the team of slate attendees. And if they regularly come, I can honestly tell you, many of the leaders who were trained through the slate, if they attend about 10 to 20 sessions, they all have written mails back to me saying that, Prabhu, it has directly helped us in our lives. Many temple presidents have written mails that it was very timely for us. We could save the damage and we could do things very nicely, they wrote to me. So you will see that these notes are very easy to grasp and they are based on very foundational principles of spiritual life, Sadachar. So you all please make it on Fridays. In case you miss it, then you have the notes available with you. But if you come, this kind of nice skits and discussions and all will happen. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhya kripa sindhubhya vachapatitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnava vrinda ki jai. Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki jai. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki jai. Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai. Hyderabad Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.